Hey guys, here is a podcast where I share a snapshot into my research around heart rate variability and heart rate as it ties to stress, both in my daily work life and in my fitness. I hope this helps you in finding your best self. Welcome to Our Best Self, a discussion, sharing forum to help you see habits and practices that will lead to your happiness and success personally and professionally. Mental strength, happiness, health, business success, and the gamut at large. What is stress? I mean, really. When you're thinking about your day, when you're working, when you're training, what really is stress? At its most basic level, it is how your body reacts to the stimulus at hand. So if you are running, biking, weightlifting, doing CrossFit, something amazing, your body's going to react. You are pushing it and demanding, it deliver more oxygen into the body for it to move energy to power your muscles. It requires mental energy for you to focus on the technical piece you're doing. But in these stressful training moments, these elevated states, you are pressing towards better health, better fitness, because these stress demands upon our body allow us to create adaptation that make us better humans. This adaptation and this rebuilding of our bodies occurs when we rest. So you'll go for your training today for 30 minutes or for an hour, and then the next 6, 12, 24, 36 hours, your body is adjusting. So the next time it is put into those demanding moments, it's a little bit better. That is why your speed increases and your ability to run longer distances and your ability to handle more weight and do more power outputs all go up when you train smart, consistently, progressively over time. So stress gives us this opportunity to adapt, and it's amazing. And today we have different devices that we can attach and wear on our bodies to see what is that impact? What is that stimulus that's happening? And so I've been tracking this for a long time, and it's very interesting. So a few of the key areas I can track against is clearly my speed, times, weights of my movements. Obviously, I measure my weight to see how my body is reacting from an inflammatory response and from the diets that I eat. But also I can watch and see heart rate variability. I can see heart rate for any period of time, 24/7. And I use this data, among others, to steer my training. Because as my training evolves and my body experiences these stressors, I take a little bit more time here or there to recover and to be able to perform the next training session. And so what's interesting is isolated, if I was a professional athlete, that'd be all I focused on because I would just watch that. And when I'm recovered, I would do harder workouts and, maybe bigger intensity and longer durations, such as when I was doing my Ironmans. But I'm not a professional athlete, and you might not be either, which means that we have another side of our lives, which is family and our work life. And in those moments, we also feel stress. It's a common phrase. I feel stressed. How are you today? Oh, I'm stressed. I have this big deadline due. Or we find ourselves on a phone call between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. at night, trying to coordinate and quote unquote put out a fire. We find ourselves feeling anxious in certain moments. Maybe when my daughter was riding a bike for the first few times, I was very anxious and I felt fatigued after that session was done. Why? I did not do anything in those sessions, but it was the stress in my body built around the concern for her safety. and the importance of such an event. So stress we are familiar with, but we don't see it and measure it in the same way or appreciate it in a regular cadence kind of way as we would normally do. Because, of course, we're all stressed. We all have these things we must focus on. But what if you measured that stress and then balanced your life reactively to fit and work around the life events that you have? Would such behavior also make you fitter and healthier as such training? Because with these stresses, our body adapts with its training or if it's in life. And I find that extremely interesting because the greater pursuit that we all have on our to-do list is to be healthy. And of course, we want to be healthy today. Nobody would question that. You don't want to get sick today. But our true efforts are to be healthy and have quality years well into the future. Specifically, we would all be very happy to live close to 100 years old, being very active and cycling and seeing the world as we are today. But stress, taken unchecked, without appreciation, and without recovery, just like physical training, can truly impact our length and quality of our life. So I have been tracking it. And so I have a few highlights to share. One is I can absolutely see where stressful meetings and or hard late night calls, whether either I'm speaking or simply a participant, I see my heart rate being close to 80% of my max, which is extremely high. If you can imagine the baseline, on an average day, my heart is around 155, 170. On these stressful moments, I'm averaging around 120 beats a minute. When I am doing extreme fitness, I'm closer to 160. And so you can see by those numbers, there is a deep biochemical reaction to the stress. And what I've also seen is my heart rate variability dips and spikes based on my recovery and my stress, which is super interesting. And what that really means is that some days I'm extremely stressed and I can see my heart rate variability just plummet down. If I get no sleep and I still have the stressors the next day, I'm equally poor. But if I find a way to recover some sleep, I practice some mindfulness, journal a little bit, so take myself out of those stressful situations for even just 10 minutes, I'm able to literally see my heart rate change measurably and the heart rate variability shift. It's really incredible. So how can you use this to make your best self? You can do this not by needing a device that tracks your heart rate and your heart rate variability and such. It will help. It will arm you with data. But simply practice when you find yourself in extreme stress to give yourself 15-minute windows to step out, recenter, be empathetic to the people involved, write in a journal, take a cold shower, do something that allows you to center on your mental health and then re-engage. Be sure to proper sleep is above 7.5 hours every night. And if you missed it one night, recover it the next. You can do it. If you do this, you will have a leg up on stress. Your body will recover and you will adapt to be the fittest you are able to be given the stress that you are working through. Thank you for listening to Our Best Self podcast. This is a passion project where I'm sharing the daily writings and studies from around the world and best that I can find for you.